I welcome everyone for coming to the grand opening of CPC 1. I am Wayne Ho, and I have the honor and privilege of being the president and CEO of the Chinese American Planning Council, CPC. So thank you everyone for joining us. And we're excited about today because for nearly 60 years, CPC has been serving the Chinese American immigrant and low-income communities of New York. And we always make sure to embrace and empower New Yorkers of all ages and backgrounds. So today is really a celebration. It's a community celebration because we've all played a role to get to where we are today. And because nothing is cuter than kids, they're walking slower than I expected. Nothing is cuter than kids who walk quickly. Did we double check the stairs are the right height for 2-year-olds? Oh, it's okay. I'm not rushing them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna sing. So we obviously want to welcome everyone to our new home with the Lion Dance. And also we're going to be welcomed by the children of CPC Little Star Daycare. So we give a round of applause to all the kids of Little Star. Are we, Annie, we good? Oh, so we need that. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I know. Kids, I have kids. All right, everyone give them a round of applause. Cheer the kids on, cheer the kids on. All right, they have been practicing. This project took over 10 years. These kids have been practicing for the exact same amount of time. All right, so with that, everybody get your cameras out. Remember to tag us and hashtag and all that good stuff. With that, Annie, you're good? Okay, hit it.
If you were a wizard, would you wear a hat? If you were a wizard, would you fly so high and so fast? If you were a wizard. And if you were a wizard, would you talk to the moon? If you were a wizard, would you cast a spell or two? If you were a wizard. And wave your wand. Anytime you want. Don't hide your magic. Don't hide your magic. 'Cause you've got a spark that can light up the dark, and it's so fantastic. So don't hide your magic. And if you were a wizard, would you have wizard friends? Would you make a potion that could change the world with them? If you were a wizard.
Thank you, staff and children of Little Star. Quickly, I want to introduce Mary Cheng, who's our Director of Childhood Development Services. Mary, do you want to say a few words? We are auctioning off their hats. We have 17 hats. Highest bidder gets the hats. So
maybe just the ones. But thank you all for coming. Can you guys give a round of applause again to the children? I think one of the biggest things about the children and their performance is really about, I know we did it in 3 days time. So I really want to say thank you to the staff for Little Star. Can you guys raise your hands right now? There's still more upstairs, but they really represent the community and diversity that really says and builds the magic in our programs. So we're just glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Round of applause again to the children of Little Star. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. So I personally know the power of CPC's early childhood education programs because before I joined CPC as president and CEO, my daughter went to CPC Chungpak daycare. So is there anybody here from the Department of Education? No, good. So community-based programs. Okay, this is awesome. This is streaming, by the way, right now. We are streaming over Zoom around, so thank you for that. So I want to welcome everyone to our grand opening of CPC 1. We have a few speeches, and following the speeches, we will give tours of the building, and we will end in our dining room on the 3rd floor, where we do have food and refreshments for everyone, and we'll also do a toast. And this is a momentous day for CPC. And I often think about this idea of legacy. So just last weekend, there was a very, very important American event known as WrestleMania. It was in Philadelphia. So the champion who walked out of WrestleMania is second-generation star Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes is the son of Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. And Cody Rhodes said that a legacy is not a burden to bear, it's a torch to carry proudly. Yeah. We can clap for the new world champion, Cody. So what he said really resonates with me about today. Today in CPC 1 is an opportunity for us to look back. It's an opportunity for us to celebrate our present, and it's an opportunity for us to face forward into the future of the other tens of thousands of lives that CPC will continue to make a difference in. But we are only here today because of all the work of everyone in the room. And we wanted to make sure that everyone who has made an impact on CPC, from our board members to former board members to leadership team members to the Leadership Council, to our donors, to our allies, to our partner organizations, government officials, and others are all in this room. So I just want you to know, you all made the cut of being our closest friends and allies. So I do want to acknowledge that we all stand on the shoulders of giants to get us to here today. So just some quick acknowledgements. We are obviously joined by our founder and current board member, Virginia Key. We have many current board members and former board members in the room who've all played a critical role to get us here. So if you're a current or former board member, can you raise your hand and wave for us? All my predecessors as president and CEO have helped us, as well as the partnerships that get here. I know we have been joined by Rabbi Greenbaum from the BJ Synagogue through this partnership to give us a chance to make more affordable housing. And looking back at everyone who helped bring us here, I know we're joined by Denham Wolf, Rockabill, Gertler, and Wente. So a big group of folks who've helped us come to this point. So, and there's more acknowledgements. I know all of you are like, when am I going to say your name? We'll get to it. But just to situate where we are today, 40 years ago, over 40 years ago, CPC built Hongning housing across the lot. And there's this parking lot attached to it, which was restricted by federal HUD regulations that you must have a parking lot. It's restricted for residential use. Two issues. One, it's a senior building. Two, we're in New York City where there's not a lot of cars and drivers. So we had this parking lot that was empty, and the board wanted to figure out an opportunity for us to activate this parking lot for us to carry out our mission. So what could we do to expand services? What can we do to bring more affordable housing? What can we do to support the historic synagogue? What can we do to really support the neighborhood? And that's where this idea of CPC 1 came to be. And now you see our 41,000 square foot state-of-the-art community center. Over 200 units of deeply skewed affordable housing. To show you the need on affordable housing, over 32,500 applications to the city lottery for 208 units. 15% of those are reserved for the formerly unhoused. Bringing back the synagogue with their cultural heritage space across the way. And then partnering with David Pickett and the Pickett family of the Gotham organization on this entire mixed-use project. And bringing us forward, we have a lot of the partners who've made that possible. So in addition to the Gotham organization, I want to acknowledge the work of About the Work, and Mosier, Clune, Diana Lee have all brought us to where we are today in this beautiful location. So to kick us off, after the lion dance, the cute kids, remember, you can still text me if you want to bid on the hats and the wands. Please give a round of applause for our board chair, I'll get to Chester. Our board chair, who has been a partner and an ally throughout this entire collective project, been part of CPC for a couple decades, someone that I'm glad to call my partner in leading this amazing organization, Flora C.
Thank you. Thank you, Wayne. Good morning. It's so great to see everybody here in this room, and CPC is always the luckiest organization. The rain stopped. It's a great day for CPC. So thank you everyone for coming. I wanted to say that today is a historical moment for CPC, a long time in the making, 59 years. We need to understand where we came from so that we know where we're going. From inception, one of our founders, CPC started with one federal grant of $14,000 for a youth program from Virginia Key. And thanks to the Norman Lauke and the Lauke family, we got our first location at 3 Pell Street, where it was on the 2nd and 3rd floor. And we got a group of students, of Virginia Key students, to come and get the place ready. So thanks to the group of, unfortunately, not with us anymore, but Mimi Lau and her group of friends came, painted, got the place going. That's our humble starts for CPC. And 59 years later, we have more than 50 programs, 35 locations, 300 million budget, about. So I think we have come a long way. But thanks to everyone who has paved the way for this organization to have accomplished so much in 59 years. I also wanted to say that we imagine this project at least 20 years. From imagination to actual realization of what happened. And 10 years in the making, and 5 years approximately for construction. But through the pandemic. So I think that's a great achievement. The conception period, when we had Jenny Lowe as our chair, we had Janice Wong as our interim director at that time. Besides talking about the project, I want to talk about the history of CPC. We have our first executive director, Alan Cohen, that without him, we wouldn't have this parking lot. We got the senior housing, the Hongning senior housing. That was our first senior housing for CPC. And thanks to that, we have this parking lot. Thanks God the seniors don't drive. And so those are the people and that have paved the way for CPC. And there's countless of people that may not get named, but we know who everyone has. Everyone has contributed a little piece of themselves. I also wanted to mention that part of the history of CPC is our CPC Hub program. We have Chester Lee, who used to be our former chair and board member, who, as a volunteer of CPC and being a student at that time, came up with the concept of the home attendant program. So this is history, CPC's history. Everyone has paved a way for CPC to be what it is today. So now we know where we came from. We have a great road ahead, a bright road ahead. Thank you everyone for have been our partners, our contributors all these years. And we hope that everyone will continue to pave the way forward for this organization to continue to do its good work. Lastly, our best partner, Gotham. We couldn't have asked for a better partner for this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Flora. I also want to acknowledge, in addition to those who have been named, two other predecessors of mine, Charles Wang, who's the former executive director here. And then I definitely want to acknowledge David Chen, who unfortunately passed away about a month ago now, and unfortunately didn't get a chance to join us today. So as we look back and look forward, there's someone who's been mentioned several times that we would like to invite up to share a few words. Her leadership, her path-breaking vision of making sure that Chinese and immigrants can succeed in New York in 1965 is what brought us here today. So on behalf of the board and the leadership council and the staff, we wanted to recognize her leadership and vision, and that's why this conference room is named the Virginia Key and Dr. Herbert Key Conference Center. Both of them as a partnership is what brought CPC together with all of you, and we always wanted to recognize that the first space that you see when you walk in addition to the Veronica Sang lobby, is our Virginia and Herbert Key Conference Center. So with that, can we please give a round of applause to our founder, Virginia Key.
This is what 92 looks like. It is what it is. What a blessed day. What a blessed, happy day. You know, in 1965, we could never imagine that we would be in such a beautiful building. Thank you, Gotham. Thank you. in those early years and the whole history of CPC, we were always in rented space. So we constantly had to move. We moved from 3 Pell Street to 45 East Broadway. We moved from 45 East Broadway to 13 Elizabeth. Then we moved from 13 Elizabeth to Lesbianard. And then from Lesbianard back to 150 Elizabeth. We need our permanent home. We really did. When CPC started in 1965, we were concerned that there were new immigrants, and we wanted the new immigrants to be able to realize the American dream. We believe that in helping new immigrants achieve American dream, we are making this city, this state, this nation a better place. About 11 years ago, some board members took on this challenge and started the whole process of finding how to get our permanent home. It was their bold step. They are the past champions of CPC. Their bold step that we are here today. We went through a lot. We went through many struggles, but we kept faith, we kept hope, we kept our dream of making this city, state, and nation a better place. And we kept that and we kept going. So we celebrate today, but we did not do it by ourselves. We did it with you. We did it with thousands of supporters who helped us along the way. We did it because we believe in our mission, and we believe that it was necessary for us to continue. And we are here to thank you. And so many of the people who helped us may not be in this room, but we remember them, and we remember what it was and how it was. And we today, this building is a reflection of how far our community has come. And it is a bold statement that we are here to say, we're here to stay, we're here to serve, and we are here to build a better community for all of us, for all of us. We want to thank the champions of the past. We want to thank the champions of the present, our awesome CPC team, our CEO and President, Wayne Ho. Thank you so much for making a place called home a reality. Thank you, thank you.
I can't hold this looking in. Okay, go on. All right, give it up again for Virginia Key. So as we embarked on this journey, which once again was a true public-private partnership, we at CPC wanted to make sure that we found a developer that matched our values, that had expertise in affordable housing, as well as making sure that we are going to be community-centered. So we were delighted through a very rigorous RFP process, which my second day on the job, I was interviewing folks. It was awesome to spend my first day reading RFPs. It was awesome, awesome. Thank you. That's when I started losing hair and going gray, Jeff. It is. It is. All right. So with that, I'm excited to introduce David Pickett, who's the CEO of Gotham Organization, a fifth generation family development. So give it up for David Pickett.
First of all, Wayne, thanks so much for parking me behind Virginia. It's talk about a tough act to follow. Good morning, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here. I mean, I walked through that door this morning and, I've walked the space a lot, but I hadn't been here since they finished it. And wow, I mean, what a job. It's just phenomenal. So today is a special day for a lot of reasons. It marks the final step, well, almost final step, Rabbi, to completing a project that started 8 years ago when we answered an RFP to develop an empty parking lot owned by CPC. Second, it marks the opening of CPC's well-deserved and needed permanent home. Really remarkable that an organization with its breadth and history, it's taken this long to get one, but I think you're in a good place now. Three, it demonstrates what can happen when the private sector, a community-based not-for-profit, and government work together to produce a financially stable, economically diverse, and community-centered development. As I mentioned, this project started 8 years ago when CPC selected us as their development partner. What ensued was a 4-year approval process that included a concerted community outreach effort in which Gotham and CPC met with all stakeholders. During that process, we formed the basis of a true partnership based on mutual respect for each other's strengths and weaknesses. We're truly grateful for all the hard work that CPC put into moving this project along. In particular, I'd like to thank Wayne, Alice, Alan, and Edgar, as well as the whole CPC team and its board members for the tremendous effort that went into making this a reality. Amazingly enough, CPC, the largest provider of social services to the Asian community in the United States, has never had a headquarters. I'm so happy for them now that they have a beautiful state-of-the-art facility from which to serve the community. Development in New York City is no easy feat. A difficult approval process to begin with has fallen prey to the political agendas of a few. Developments like this need to happen all over the city, and they can if we come together behind the talent and risk capital of the private sector, the strength and dedication of not-for-profits like CPC, and the knowledge and resources of our government partners at City Hall and at agencies like HDC, HPD, and HCR. And I think I did see some folks from there. We should not forget about them because they were a tremendous part of this as well. At Gotham, we have always known the power of this troika. We have embraced our ability to work with not-for-profits like CPC and explored the many dynamic and innovative financial products offered by our government partners. As the greatest city in the world, I'm hopeful we can put politics of division for division's sake behind us and create housing that benefits every class of New Yorker. And finally, and I do this too often, I would just like to thank all the folks in my office at Gotham for making this reality. And some of them are here: Natasha, Simeon, who else am I missing? Charlie, Stephanie, Eddie. Am I missing anybody? And there's some folks that aren't here also are a huge part of this, Brian, Stephen. But I forget too often to thank the folks that, really helped to make these things possible. So that's all I got. Turn it over back to you, Wayne. Thanks so much, everybody. It's really, really gratifying to stand here today.
All right, thank you, David. Thank you to the team at Gotham and all your consultants too. So as we mentioned, this was a true public-private partnership. So there's a few folks I want to acknowledge, and then I am going to bring one up to speak, who unfortunately she's sitting in the middle, so she has to go one way or the other. So I do want to acknowledge that we do have representatives joining us from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's office, Attorney General Letitia James' office, as well as State Senators John Liu, Brian Kavanaugh. We've also been joined by Keisha Sutton James, who's Deputy Borough President for Manhattan. Oh, I'm going out of order. My apologies. We also have representatives from the Office of Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's office, as well as representatives from City Hall, specifically from the Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services office. As David's already mentioned, as we're going through this land use process, we engage with a lot of city agencies, elected officials, and they responded right away because of the number of supporters that we had, including all of you in the room. Over 6,000 of our community members wrote letters or filled out postcards or sent emails saying that this project is important because they've benefited from CPC and they want future generations to as well. So I want to acknowledge that during that time, we got the approval and support of individuals like Maria Torres Springer and Molly Park from HPD, Community Board 3, and there's representatives here today. As well as that time, I do want to acknowledge the overlapping officials that we were working with at that time. So that includes Council Member Margaret Chin, Assembly Member Yulene New, Senator Kavanaugh, and last but definitely not least, an elected official who needs no introduction. I personally believe that she's a clone, or there's clones of her, because she is everywhere. So our former Manhattan Borough President, current council member representing the Upper West Side, Gail Brewer.
Thank you very much, Wayne, and it's such an honor to be here today. You know, lots of things have been said. I want to say something that is really important to me about CPC. Not only is Wayne everywhere, you go to a conference in the Middle East, or you go to a conference in, you know, someplace in Puerto Rico, there he is, doesn't matter. And always so gracious because he's remembering this organization, but also just in general, what human services should look like. And that's what CPC is all about. When I was borough president, thanks to you, I went to your childcare centers. I don't know if there's another human being like Pauline. There's only one Pauline in the whole world. Thank you very much. That an older adult, we used to call them senior center. Somebody changed the name, what the hell, I don't know. But the point is excellent programming. So it's not only is it an organization with a wonderful history, it's an organization with absolutely phenomenal first class programming for basically every person who comes in contact with City Planning Commission. And that's what's, I mean, with the Chinese Planning Commission, not City Planning Commission, CPC. And the reason I say that is we can have all of the, you know, all of the fabrics and all of the bells and whistles, but if you don't have that kind of quality, then you're not doing what is service to New Yorkers and to the community. So that's why I feel so strongly about what you've done, because even when I would go to the children's programs, it was such high quality. So I just want to thank you for that. Second, I love Alan Gerson. Where's Alan Gerson? There's Alan Gerson. We were colleagues together in the city council, sat next, criticized everybody else. We didn't like anybody else. Except Margaret Chin. We like Margaret Chin. And I want to thank her because she was a great partner in all of this. But when we were going through this process, I must admit I was a little difficult. And I said, you need more affordable housing or I'm not going to sign off on it. And I want to thank Gotham and everybody else because you got those term sheets to work out and you ended up with more affordable housing. So you said, David, that other projects like this, good luck trying to get other projects like this because you don't have Wayne and you don't have a board that's this great, because this is the kind of project with human services and affordable housing and the synagogue, that every single other community should be doing the same thing. The hell with this market housing that all of the other developers want to do. So thank you, Gotham, very much. This is a big deal. So I'm just here also to say your staff, Wayne, is so damn nice. I mean, every time I run into them and they are in the programs or having an event. He also recently, there was just a get together at the Essex Street Market, and he served me some drink. And I've been going around everywhere. Wayne served me some kind of drink. It was the best drink I ever had in my life. I don't know what was in it. So you can see, CPC has so many aspects. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you. If anyone's interested in the recipe, I know Kim Toe knows the recipe. We will auction that off too with children's hats. And for $10 each, you can have some lettuce. It's awesome. So I know this question comes up a lot because we talked about this being our new headquarters and our new Manhattan Community Center. CPC's 35 other locations will still be in operation in Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. So our 6 childcare centers, 4 older adult centers, our group home for the developmentally disabled, our other community centers, those will all still be in operation. But what will be here? So we are moving in everything from adult literacy classes to making sure that parents have the proper child rearing skills and access to public benefits. We will have our family child care programs where we support family daycare providers, as well as referring parents and caregivers to quality child care programs, our mental health services, our college prep programs, our summer youth employment programs. The list goes on, but 15,000 community members of all ages and backgrounds will have access to these services here. And in CPC's 59 years, we've always aimed to center the community. So who better to hear from today than the community themselves? So it's my pleasure to introduce Athena Hsu. Athena? So Athena is a former Learn and Earn participant with CPC, and now Athena works at our PS20 school age after school program. So that's actually something that we've noticed here at CPC, and this is why we talk about us as a family, is that so many folks started out in our daycare programs and now are director of our childhood development services, or found us through summer youth employment and now run our Brooklyn community services. We always want to make sure the community is part of CPC. So I'm delighted that our former participant in youth programming is now working at one of our school age programs. So with that, give a round of applause to Athena.
Hello, my name is Athena Zhu, and I'm a sophomore in college. My time at CPC started as a Learn and Earn participant. Here, I gained knowledge on the college application process and learned essential work-life skills that helped me thrive in the workplace. CPC was the place I went to whenever I needed advice or help, whether that be for school or for work, with the teachers playing the role of my mentor and therapist. After graduating from high school, I continued to keep in touch with them, which led me to finding a job at CPC. In 2023, I joined the PS20 SAC program as a teacher's assistant. Here, I learned what it meant to collaborate with others to create a safe space for students. It gave me valuable experience that made me a well-rounded worker doing clerical work, translating for parents and my supervisor, and working with students. The environment the staff created resonated with our team values. Parents trust in us to care for their children, and the kids truly wanted to be here. Some even saying they don't want to leave early since they want to stay at CPC. CPC was my second home in high school, and I'm proud to create a second home for young children. Thank you.
Thank you, Athena. Another key program that we have is adult literacy. So that's making sure that everyone gains English skills, not only to support their family members, but also in the job market. So to speak more about their experience with our adult literacy program, and also because we do support the whole family, her son goes to CPC's after school program in Brooklyn. Please give a round of applause to Natalie Gu.
Hello, everybody. My name is Natalie Gu. I'm from Harbin, China. I'm an adult literacy student at CPC. It is a honor to be here. I learned about this class because my son goes to CPC for after-school care at PS 94 in Brooklyn. He is in kindergarten. Yeah, CPC has many programs for parents. For example, I do embroidery, take self-defense classes, and talk to psychologists. Yeah, I really like these activities. Yeah, yeah. I feel supported by CBC because they help my family. It's wonderful that the adult literacy class is free for me. I'm a new immigrant. I have only been there for 10 months. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. When I come to the New York, I was pregnant. Yeah, now my daughter is 4 months old. Yeah. Mm, in my English class, I learned more new words, grammar, and practice spoken English, which makes my life easier. It helps me live better in the United States because I can speak English better. I can help my children practice English, and next, I will find a good job that I want. Yes, thank you. I'm excited to start my new life in this country. Thanks CPC and thanks my teacher Anna. 最后，祝大家一帆风顺，二龙腾飞，三阳开泰，四季平安，五福临门，六六大顺，七星高照，八方来财，九九同心，十全十美。Congratulations, the great opening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. That was awesome because in 10 months of Chinese classes, I'm not that good. So. No, give a round of applause to Natalie and Athena. All right, so I'm going to be wrapping it up and then we're going to transition. We're going to do a toast, then we're going to do some tours, and then we're going to end up in the dining room on the 3rd floor. But again, this is a truly collaborative effort. So each and every one of you in this room is what made today possible. And in addition to the elected officials, to our development partner, I want to acknowledge all of you who have supported us through our naming campaign. So if you are a donor to CPC, can you raise your hand, please? All right, round of applause. Made it. I see like a lot of the donors did not raise their hand. Very smart. There's other nonprofits here. So we are also joined by a lot of partner organizations and advocacy groups that also testified in support of this project, wrote letters, and we continue to partner every day to make sure that our community members not only survive, but thrive. So the comment that we keep hearing from everyone, and rightfully so, is that this is a nice space. It's a beautiful space. It's a welcoming space. It's a quality space. It's a dignified space. And we purposely work together with Gotham and all our partners in order to do that. And the reason is because we believe if you are a low-income senior, you should have a nice place to call home. If you are an immigrant, an English language learner, or a low-income individual coming to access services, you should have a nice place to call a community center. And if you work at a community-based organization as a nonprofit staff, you should have a nice place to come in every day to say, this is where I work and empower my community. So we call our headquarters and community center CPC 1. And the reason it's called CPC 1 is because we are one team we are one organization, and we are one community. So I want to thank each of you for being our community. I want to especially thank Alice Wong, Alan Gerson, Edgar Perea. Where's Alice, Alan, and Edgar? For quarterbacking and overseeing this project with so many moving parts. One day I will sit down with you and we'll read through all the approvals we had to go through. It was awesome, awesome. So with that, thank you very much for joining our grand opening of CPC 1. We are going to do a toast and then we're going to transition into our tours. Bill, Brian, Brenda, that's a lot of B's. Bill, Brenda, Brian, Edgar are here and they'll be doing the tours. Wait, there's Alice Wong. Alice Wong is now walking away. Okay, wait, we gotta hand out the booze. We originally had the kids ready to hand out the booze, but it's nap time. Couldn't make it. So no kids with booze. There's no one from the Department of Education here, right? Is anyone from ACS here? The rep from the deputy mayor's office left, right? All right, that's all good. Alan, I'm kidding. Oh, my lawyer's here. This is all privileged and confidential. It's good, it's good. I'm stretching. Wait. All right, let's wheel it in. All right, while you're all waiting for the toast, everyone look at the person next to you, introduce yourself, and then say one thing you really want to see in this building. Ready, set, go. Time. All right, raise your hand if you want a glass. Let's make sure we got one. Everyone got one? Good. All right. Here, we can all stand. It's good photo op. Where is Edgar? All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to segue into a tour shortly. With that, let's all raise a glass to the past, to the present, and to the future of the Chinese American Planning Council in our community. Cheers. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for making today a possibility.